Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Top Deck Heroes board game review. Tonight we are going to be reviewing the Ricks Must Be Crazy, the Rick and Morty video game. We've had a rough setup. The Rick and Morty card game. Just grab the box, put it on screen so we can have a look and see.
Box.
This game is from Cryptozoic. Price point at RochesterCCG.com is $15. It's for 2 to 4 players, and we expect it to take us about 45 minutes. Our rules guru, Tim Keefe, was nice enough to read the rules.
I think we all gave it a shot.
So let's introduce our heroes for tonight's game. First we have Tim Keefe. Jesse Cervini.
Hello.
And last but not least, Kevin Broberg.
Playing Zeep.
Alright, so this game is based off of the Rick and Morty episode, The Ricks Must Be Crazy. Special guest stars Stephen Colbert.
Hell yeah.
And in this episode, Rick's car will not start, and he has to go into the universe inside his battery to find out what the issue is. I'm not going to spoil the rest of it for Tim, because I know he's really looking forward to watching the episode.
But, well, spoilers, there's more smaller universes inside, well, related to this all somehow.
Alrighty, so let's go ahead and get started. Tim, tell us what's going to be happening.
All right, so there's a lot of little rules in this game, but the basic flow is that we are going to be building power supplies and contraptions. Contraptions are ours. We use them, we activate them to get benefits. Each of us has our own contraptions. Power supplies benefit everybody, but you get a one-time benefit when you build it because you're donating to the team. And so the power supplies are going to provide the energy that feed our contraptions, and everyone spends from the same energy pool. So the first part of each round is we each get a number of actions that we're going to use to build stuff, basically. And we can build stuff in the universe that we are in, and we can build power supplies for a cheaper cost in the universe below us.
All right, tell us a little bit about the different universe levels.
All right, so the top each universe, the further down you go, the more actions you get for your turn, but the harsher the conditions in that universe are. So in the Teenyverse, you effectively can only activate contraptions there once every other turn.
Yep.
You get 5 actions to build with, and it makes it really easy to build stuff there, but you're only going to get to use it once every other turn.
So like on the show, it's extremely primitive.
Yeah.
Yeah, and any energy you build there, if no one is using it because all our contraptions are tapped, they move up to the next universe.
Yes.
And anything that's left over moves up to the next universe in every case.
Yep.
Right?
Yep. So the Miniverse, in order to build contraptions there, you have to discard a card. We're only going to draw 1 card a turn. So anytime you discard cards, that's kind of a permanent cost unless you find a way to draw extra cards. Your hand size is just going to kind of shrink over time. The Microverse is sort of a nice even ground. Each time you build a power supply there, you get to draw a card and discard a card and kind of fix your hand up a little bit. And the Rickverse lets you use contraptions there if you haven't fully built them. But They score you 1 less victory point.
Now, just for the folks at home, this is a competitive game, correct?
Yes. We are sharing the same energy pool at the end of each round. And it flows from the bottom up. So whoever's in the Teenyverse is going to get the first crack at spending whatever energy we have down there. Anything that's left over will add to the power in the Microverse, and whoever's there can try to spend energy there, and so on. So the first part, we're each going to get our turns with action points where we're building stuff. The second part is we do the power. We generate power. We activate contraptions. We can play one-shot cards from our hand, activate abilities that we add to our characters, that sort of thing.
And then what's the end goal?
First to 40 victory points.
Yep. And you each are playing as characters from the show, right?
Yes.
Yep.
What do each of your characters do? We'll start with Tim because he's the rules master.
I'm playing Rick. Each time I build a contraption, I finish one, I get an extra victory point.
I'm playing Morty. He at the start of each round, I get to draw 2 cards instead of 1, but I have to discard a card afterwards. So I cycle every turn. I draw 2, cycle 1.
Yeah, and I'm playing Zeep, the Rick of the Microverse, and whenever I complete a power supply, I get a victory point.
Okay. Who will be going first on this adventure?
Jesse is going first because he has the lowest remaining cell phone battery.
That's how you determine who goes first?
Yes.
So it does.
I kind of like that because it's very unlikely to be the same number. Do a lot of cards. So we're gonna be playing out the cards that we're building in the universes. We're gonna be playing out this way. There might be some intended way to do it, but this is just what we're gonna do for the sake of the camera. We all start with 5 cards in our hand. We all have these little build tokens. This basically allows us to mark partially built things. So for one action, we put a card down and put the first build token on it, and then we can spend an action each to add more build tokens. And even if you run out of build tokens, you can still just sort of overspend just to finish the item. But this sort of lets you partially build things. And I don't know if there's any rule. I don't think another player can turn around and keep building your thing either, I assume.
Yeah, I don't think there was anything about that.
Yeah.
All right, so Jesse.
So there's going to be a lot of these little wrench guys floating around.
Alright.
And we can use these gears to track how many action points you have for the turn.
And everybody starts in the Teenyverse?
Yep, so at the start of the round, everybody draws a card. So we're all going to start effectively with 6.
I draw 2.
That's right.
And discard. Discard this guy. Alright. Let's see what I can do here. Contraction. Alright.
So your actions are basically to start building things. You can discard a card to get an extra action. You can spend an action to discard a card and draw a card.
And you can
spend an
move
action
between
to move
verses, yeah.
one space at a time, right?
Yep.
Alright. I'm gonna play
He's
the
gonna build a
TV.
Does it do anything special?
So that's one action.
Yep.
So he's got his first build token on this. He's going to need 3 to finish it. So it doesn't do anything until it's built. But once it's built, if there's 3 energy here for him to spend, he can spend the 3 energy for 1 victory point, and he'll get plus 2 victory points if someone's played a one-shot card in the verse this round. I'm interested in seeing how that works out for you. This seems to be a weird place to put a TV, but
I'm gonna move up to the.
oh no,
does he
Jesse
move still
has
high?
spends
Okay.
5 actions.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
have
'cause
5
he's in-
actions. We're gonna put the TV there.
I'm gonna check this.
Move up. We're going to build the fan.
Yes, that's the third action. That lets him spend 3 for a victory point plus 1 if you have an ability on your character. So you put the second build on the fan.
And spend any actions. And power supply.
You're going to start building a blue bull yank. So he's going to build this here. It's going to take 6 to finish total. He could this down arrow 4 means he could start building it down here, so that it will only need 4 to finish. But now he's building it in a place where he isn't, which means it has to like get through an extra step to actually provide him with power.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
none of these are completed, so none of them
Yeah.
are live.
And the discount cost, you have to pay that all in one turn, too.
Hmm?
If you get something, you have to complete it all in the turn you build it.
Oh yes, yes, yes. Okay, so that's Jesse's 5 actions. So now Kevin gets to go.
Ooh, give Kevin his brockets.
I guess I'm going to move up to the miniverse. I'm going to gift the Google blocks to that verse for 2.
Okay, so he gets 2. So he completed this power supply. This belongs to no one. This is for everybody. When completed, he gets 2 victory points. He gets to draw a card.
I get a 3rd victory point because I'm
He
Zeep.
gets a 3rd victory point because he's Zeep, and he gets to draw a card and remove all build tokens from this, which is bookkeeping.
I've got 2 more.
So now there is a power supply in the Teenyverse for that TV to eventually be live.
And I'm
Blast
gonna-
is good in this game, huh?
Apparently.
It's not terrible.
Well, it's good. It's good in this phase and bad in the second phase, I guess.
And I'm going to start on Kyle's lab. I'm gonna put 2 down on that.
Okay. So it's my turn. I start with 5 actions. This is going to be very easy. I haven't even tried. I'm going to spend 2 of them moving up to the microverse, and then I'm going to spend the remaining 3 putting together a volcano. So this marks that this is mine. I completed a contraption, so I get a victory point for beating Rick. I did not complete a power supply in this verse, so I don't get that. And this will let me spend 3 energy for a victory point, or spend 3 energy to shove up 2 more energy to the verse above it, which is a weird manipulation. But like if I'm in the Rick verse and I want that energy for a 1-shot or something, you can.
Yeah.
Well, we'll get to it here, but you only get to use 1-shots and abilities when you're in the verse that's being processed. So I might want the energy for something like that. Alright, so the next phase. So now we're going to track our power. So we're going to do this 1 verse at a time. So Teeniverse, we start at 0. Every time, every round, we always start at 0. The Teeniverse gets 4 power.
Yep.
Nobody's in the Teeniverse, so nobody gets to play abilities or 1-shots. And then we each get to activate our contraptions in the Teeniverse, but nobody's there.
Yep.
Well, there's no built contraptions, rather. Even if nobody's here, you can still... Like, Jesse could be here, you can still use that TV. But he just hasn't finished it yet. So now we go to the Miniverse. No more energy getting generated here, but it still carries over the 4 from the Teeniverse.
Yep.
And now in turn order, you can do, I believe, 1-1-shot and 1 ability. We don't have abilities yet, but... So would you like to play a 1-shot card? Make sure I've got the sequencing here.
This sounds correct.
Yeah, one shot in each ability once. Okay. And then contraptions. So contraptions can be blocked by other players spending your energy on abilities.
Alright.
Yeah, so Tim is going to score some points if you don't burn some energy.
I'm going to burn 2 energy to score 3 victory points. My character moved this round.
Nice.
Dope.
I remember that scene.
What's that card called? We should probably name the cards.
Zeep's
Hover
hover
Bike.
bike.
Zeep's hover bike.
Score a victory point
How
plus
long are these
2.
episodes?
30 minutes.
30 minutes.
23 minutes.
Yeah.
23.
They
Yeah.
get a lot of random stuff. happens
It's
in 23 minutes.
Yes,
pretty dense.
Yes. They are dense.
Tim, you've got to check out this show. It's pretty good.
And I'm not going to do anything.
Okay, so now we move to the microverse. There's 2 energy in here. Again, if there were contraptions finished, we would do that.
Yep.
So I could play abilities or 1-shot cards if I wanted to with this 2 energy. I do not wish to do that. I could. Then we go to activate contraptions. I could activate this, but there's not enough energy. So I just hang out here. The excess, there's nothing going to go on in the Rick first. The excess energy just goes away at the end of the round.
Okay.
And then we move on to the next round. I assume we pass this guy.
Yep.
We all draw a card.
Oh, yeah.
And Kevin, because you were in the miniverse, you were going to have 4 actions.
Yep.
2 and I'll discard Sanchez.
Now, does the turn advance to somebody else?
Yeah.
Okay, so it just moves ahead 1 person each round?
Yeah.
Okay, first player. I was paying attention.
And this seems good. I'm just going to go ahead and spend 2 on a Google Box again. And
2 more victory points.
yep, draw
3
2 card,
because
draw a
you're
card, and yeah, 3 points. And then we're going to spend 2 more actions on finishing my lab.
Okay, so that lets him spend 2 for a victory point, and it'll be 2 victory points so long as he's holding on to some cards. Okay, so I'm going to start with 3 actions.
Because you're in the
Microverse.
microverse. So many
Yeah,
words to
mini than
describe
micro
smaller.
seems.
I'm going to spend 1 action to give myself an ability, Alien Disguise. I don't think these
That's
also
just
limit
attached
the
to your
number of
face.
contraptions you
Yeah.
have. So once per round, I can discard a card to just put 5 energy in whatever verse I'm in.
That seems good.
I have 2 more actions. So what I'm going to do...
Oh wait, I have to discard a card because I built in the
yes,
universe, right?
Yes, building card in miniverse means you have to discard a card. Okay, all set. I'm going to use my remaining 2 actions to go back down to the Teeniverse, so that I will get first crack at spending that 8 energy. And then Jesse gets 4 actions.
Yep. I think I'm gonna be doing 2 of them to finish the TV.
Okay.
+2 victory points if anyone is
Yep, so
played
that's when you
in one
activate
shot.
it.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's gonna be 2.
Alright, so this is yours.
Yeah, that's mine. And 2 on the Boblank. Wait, what am I missing something here? Right, I have to finish this, right? I have to finish it still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This doesn't do
Yeah.
anything until it's finished.
Yeah, and use the other 2 on this
Okay.
here. Yeah.
All right.
Okay, so now we go to energy. So we have 8 energy flowing in. So I can activate one-shot cards and abilities. I can only activate one-shot card.
Right.
And if I do, Jesse's going to get to score bonus off of his TV. So I have to balance. I mean, I came down here to do this, right? So I'm still going to do it. I'm going to spend 3, going down to 5. I'm going to play Happy Rick's Giving to draw 3 cards. Peace on cards.
All right.
You'd be having so
And
much more
now-
fun if you'd seen this show.
And now everyone who's here has had their chance to do one-shots and abilities. I'm not activating this ability because there's no reason to do that. Now we activate contraptions. Jesse can spend this 3 to get 3 victory points because a one-shot was activated this round. He goes up to 6. There. Zeep and the energy are the same color.
I think I should have 6.
You should have 6. I think
Yeah,
that's
we're both
accurate.
on there. Yeah.
There we go. Okay.
And should there be 2 energy left?
2 energy left. Yeah.
Okay.
Kurt.
Okay. So now
And then,
the miniverse. There's no power flowing in.
yep.
Turn order. One-shot cards and abilities.
Oh.
One-shot cards and abilities. Would you like to play one-shot?
No, I
card?
got nothing.
Jesse, would you like to play a one-shot card or an ability?
No.
Okay. So now turn order contraptions.
Kyle's lab.
All right. And you'll get 3 for that. I assume you still have 3 more cards in your hand.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's +1 or +2?
+1.
+1. All right. So you go to 8.
And we are broke on energy.
Yep, and we are out of energy, so nothing else is going to happen with any of the rest of this. And next round, pass the token and the algebra cards. And I started in the Teeniverse, so I have 5 to work with.
This game's making a lot more sense now that
You
we're playing it.
activated the TV in the Teeniverse, so it's going to be sideways. So you can't use it this round.
It's committed. Oh wow. Okay, I have some options because I have a zillion cards in my hand. Let's see. Which one?
Okay. How about? Yeah, I'm just gonna spend 3 actions to build Rick's slow ramp. Those you spend 8 for 4 victory points. I get a victory point for building it in the first place. And I'll spend my other 2 actions to gain the ability Tribal Mask. Once per round, I can spend 4 energy for 1 victory point.
You're welcome, Rick.
Over to me.
Yep,
I
so
got
you're gonna have 4
4.
actions.
Alright, so we're gonna use 3 of them to finish the Blue Yank.
Alright, so you're gonna score 3 victory points, draw 2 cards.
Yep.
1, 2, 3.
Oh man, Morty OP.
And I have 1 more. And I'm gonna play Crafting. Once per turn, I may pay 3 energy to add 2 build tokens to a card you are building in this verse.
Nice. Alright, so
Yeah,
I'm
that-
functionally behind because I have not been building power supplies.
They seem to be the payoffs. Like they're how you get your cards back. It seems is the plan. Over to you, Kevin.
Well, they do help out the whole table, so there's that.
That's true also.
I guess I'm gonna go up to the microverse and just keep helping Tim, and I'm gonna put 3 effort into a Bulbyank.
Okay. Alright, so now we do the power up phase. So we're going to get 8 energy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm here, I can spend abilities and one shots with that 8 energy. I would not like to do that, so I will just go ahead and spend the 8 energy to get 4 victory points. This goes to 0. I go to 6.
Mm-hmm.
This is going to ready up for next round, and then we're going to do the miniverse. We have 8 power coming in from here.
Yep.
So turn order, one shots and abilities to Jesse.
Let's see here. I'm gonna use 3 energy to finish the fan.
Oh, that doesn't even have to be yours. It says you are building.
Yeah.
Oh, you're yellow. Okay.
Yeah, fan's mine.
Yeah, I'm mixing my colors, I'm sorry.
It's all right.
So
And oh yeah, yep, we're gonna do that. So that has been. I have completed that.
alright, would you like to play any one shots from your hand? There's 5 energy remaining.
Sure, I'll use 4 of it and score 4 victory points.
What's the name of the card?
The Spirit Tree.
Alright, so 4 victory points, so Jesse goes to 13. There's 1 energy left. You
Uh,
played your one shot, you played your ability, now we activate contraptions. There's not enough energy to do any of that. We go up to Zeep. In the microverse, there's no energy, there's 1 energy left, so you could play an ability or a one shot card that costs 1 energy. You do not
Nope.
have one. I cannot activate my volcano, someday I will. And then we go to the next round. So that last energy just goes kaput. This goes back to Jesse. We all draw a card. Alright, so Jesse, you're going to have 4 to work with here.
I gotta discard a card still.
Morty OP.
Uh, I think we're gonna discard this. Let's see here. We're gonna play and finish Flubble Crank.
Okay, so it's.
1 to play and 2 more to.
No, that's only if you're building it down. So it's 5. You don't have 5 actions. You have to.
Uh,
I'm building
He is
it
building
down.
it down. 'Cause he's
Oh,
in the
he's
miniverse.
here? Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're
No.
spending 3, so you have 1 action left.
Yep.
You'll get 2 victory points and draw 2 cards.
Yep.
15. So we've
It's
got
the
a lot of
Tiniverse
power
has
flowing in.
$14. All right.
And I have 1 left. Nothing really I can do with that. I'm gonna do. Let me do the discard and draw. I'm gonna discard the shit and draw. Yep, that's what I want to do. Where do you, Kevin?
Broberg.
3. Yeah, let's spend 3 to finish the Flubble Crank. And I get 4 VP and draw 2 cards. And I might. I think I'm gonna spend an action to move down 1. Or spend a card. Yeah, let's go to the miniverse.
Okay. So my turn?
Yep.
Alright. You completed a power supply here. Did you draw and discard a card?
Oh, I did not. Oop.
It's got 8 in it.
You guys are gonna produce a shitload of power in the Teeniverse this turn.
Yeah.
Yes.
We're still waiting for Kevin to discard.
Yeah.
Alright.
I'm still deciding what to do. So, I have 5 actions to work with. That's down. I have the volcano, which seems like it's going to be live. And I'm going last, so I don't have to worry about anybody messing with what I'm doing here. Alright, so I'm going to... Question is, what can I do? I know what I want. I can spend 4 actions. I just don't know how to spend the 5th.
I missed the Galaxy Brain idea.
Well, this is your first time.
Galaxy Brain ideas seem very appropriate for a Rick and Morty game. I guess I can just do it this turn.
Alright, well, I'm going to spend 2 to do here. I'm going to spend 2 to build a computer.
Mhm.
And I get a victory point for that. 7.
2 extra VP of what?
I have the fewest victory points.
Okay, not tied.
And with my last action, I guess I can just move. It doesn't matter, I'm going last even if I move to the... I might just move to the miniverse to get the extra action for next turn. Did you discard a card for completing the fan in the miniverse?
Oh, yeah, I had to do that. Sorry.
Yeah, these are the easiest thing to forget,
Yeah.
I think. I'm going to use my last action. I'm going to move to the miniverse.
We're all in the miniverse together. All right.
Okay, so power up phase. The Teenyverse generates 14 power.
Yup.
Oh, I think they recommend that you actually do this so that
Yeah, they don't really work.
Mm,
Do
yeah.
anything
does-
afterwards.
they don't do anything otherwise.
Yeah.
So 14 power is in the budget. Nobody's here, so we move on to contraptions. Jesse, you get to activate your TV if you would like.
Yeah, use 3 to get 3 victory points.
1 victory point because nobody played a one-shot in the verse this round.
Oh, nope, you're right.
Would you still
Oh,
like
yeah.
to do it?
Yes.
Okay, because it is going to burn.
Yes.
Okay.
Alright, so you go up to 16?
From 11...
No,
Oh, yeah,
he's
yeah,
Morty.
Yeah, yeah.
So energy's now at 11.
Energy's now at 11. Miniverse, 8 more. We have 19 energy.
Can we start the car?
Abilities and one-shots. Jesse, you're first.
Maybe someday I'll draw an ability card. They seem fun.
I'm gonna gain 4 victory points, but you both get to draw a card. Someone's
So
gonna
you're
get
spending
laid
2.
in Charlotte. Yep.
So we each draw a card,
And I get +4.
plus 4.
So I go to 20.
A reminder, this game, once somebody touches 40, it becomes the final round, even
Yep.
if they draw
There's only 30 points, 30 circles
You
there.
flip it over.
Yeah.
You flip it over to be a 30 plus the number.
Oh, okay.
Would you like to play your ability? You played your one-shot card.
Yes. So I get 2 victory points.
No.
Oh.
This is contraption.
Oh, sorry.
Do you want to
contraption.
use that? I guess
No, I have
there's
no.
nothing to use it. Okay.
Yeah, no reason to.
Kevin, one-shots,
Nah.
abilities? Okay.
Kevin's got none of
These
those.
cards are going to be actions.
I'm gonna
I just want to do more shit.
I'm gonna do something.
Play fast and loose.
I mean, you do have 20 victory points.
I'm gonna spend 4,
17 out of 13?
put it down to 13. I'm gonna play hands-on engine repair. I get to move a contraption in this verse to an adjacent verse. So I'm gonna send, since Jesse's in the lead, I'm gonna send the fan down to the teeny verse.
Tight.
Just keep our power supplies in line just because.
Yep.
So that's my one shot. I can also use the action once per round. I can spend 4 to get a victory point, so we'll spend down to 9 and get +1 victory point. And I do not need to add any more energy to this verse. So now we do contraptions. Turn order. There's only 1. Kevin, would you like to spend 2 for 2 victory points?
Hell yeah.
There's 7, and Kevin goes up to 14. We move here to the microverse. We had The
enough
Zillion
money.
Energy, I get to do both of these for 4 victory points total, putting me up to 12. Still pretty behind, but we'll keep that train rolling for a while, I guess. Next
And
round.
good.
Perhaps Kevin will learn what an action is.
We all
Well,
get
I want to
4.
get a. Oh yeah, actually, I want to get
I
a
heard there's
ability.
only 5 ability
card.
cards in the deck.
Oh. Well, look at you guys.
La-ti-da. Well, Kevin's thinking, we just want to remind everybody we have this wonderful game available at rochesterccg.com for just $15. And I don't know how entertained the hosts are. We'll find out later. But I am finding this very entertaining to watch.
All right, I'm gonna spend 3 to build Zeep's fast ramp.
Discard a card.
That's right.
We remembered.
Plus 1 if a foe's in this first. Well about that.
And then I'm going to spend an action to move here down to 0. I'm gonna spend. Spend a card to move up here. I'm gonna spend another card to begin constructing Kyle's flying lab.
Oh, nice. So when you activate partial things in the Rick first, they produce 1 less victory point. But Kyle's Flying Lab doesn't even do that, so it doesn't matter. So
That's my Galaxy Brain play.
He just gets to, if ever we have 2 excess energy up here, Kevin gets to draw a card.
Yep.
Start the car.
Alright, so I too start with 4 actions. I believe I'm also going to discard a zillion cards here. Just want to do it this way. Okay, so I'm going to. I have to discard a card to place something there. Maybe I'll be prudent. All right. Well, I'm at least going to start building the Egon Cinema. It would take me 5 actions and then an extra discard if I want to finish it.
That's a lot of VP.
No, I think I'm going to do it. I think I'm just going to have my engine set up and we'll roll with it. I'm going to. So I need that, need this. I don't want to do that. I'll never activate that. So I'm going to discard. I have 3 actions left, so I'm going to discard 2 cards to get the action, and I'll have to discard 1 to finish the build. That's going to be my entire turn.
Okay.
I have finished the cinema. I get a victory point because I'm Rick.
Alright.
And I'm now card starved.
Alright. I get 4. We're going to go down to the Teenyverse. We are going to start this, and let's see here.
3 actions left. Oh, okay.
What?
Jesse's. So this Zeep Tower, which we'll just get over here, it gets to spend 8 for 2 victory points plus 1 for each power supply in the verse.
Nice.
So this has been Jesse's grand plan all along.
It's gonna eat up all my energy that I built.
So, Jesse, you have 2 actions left, right?
I have 2. I have 2 more. I have 1
You
to
started
move,
with
1 to
4,
yeah,
so
one
okay.
more, 1 complete.
Is this on camera?
Yes, it's on the very edge.
2 more to put 2 more on this,
Okay.
and that's it for me. 'Cause I'll
So now you guys are gonna
craft-
alternate turns, sucking up 8 energy. Nice.
Yes.
Well, we got to keep things running in the miniverse, Kevin.
Yeah, yeah. Alright, so that's everyone, right?
Yes. So power up phase. 14 energy to
Yep.
begin. And turn order. You're the only one in here to play one shots and abilities. Would you like to?
I'm gonna pay 3 to finish my Zeep Tower.
That's true. Alright, so make sure we leave one to mark it.
Yep.
We max out at 8 contraptions each.
Yep.
If it ever reaches that point.
All right, so we're down from 14 to 11 power.
Yes. And then no one shot cards.
No one shots.
Okay,
We're not
so
here
now we
today,
activate
so-
contraptions in turn
Yep.
order. So I get the first crack of it.
Yep.
So I will spend 8. Put us down to 5. To do
That
that.
was
You
not
moved,
the energy.
You moved your character. You're at 12.
I
You're
was
at
at 13.
It was at 11, so it'll go to 3.
Yeah. I keep moving the wrong table.
Did you give yourself your victory points?
I get 4 victory points, so I go to 17.
Mhm.
And then Jesse, you have 3 energy.
I use 3 to gain 2 victory points. So I have an ability attached to my character.
Yes. So that's 0.
And we go.
That's 22. And the TV comes back.
Yep.
So no energy gets passed up to the miniverse. The miniverse itself generates 8 energy. I get a chance to play one shots and abilities. And Kevin's going to get the first crack at contraptions. So he can spend 4. I can spend 3. And nobody else can spend anything out of nowhere, so I'm just not gonna activate anything. Which seems correct. And then Kevin,
Yeah, let's spend all my stuff.
alright, so you get 2 for this because a foe is in the verse. You get 2 for this because you have 3 more cards in your hand, so you're gonna get 4.
I don't know why those are tapped, but yeah.
Because I'm done.
It keeps track of what's been used.
Yeah.
Alright, so you're at 14, so you get 18. I get 3 here, so I go up to 20.
How much
And
energy?
there's
is-
1 energy left.
1 energy left. Then up to the next stage. This generates 8 energy, going to 9. Nobody's here, so it's just my contraptions. I get to spend 8 and go down to 1. I do not have the fewest victory points anymore, so I'm just gonna get 1, 2.
Yep.
I've caught up to Mori. And now, the Rake Burst does not generate any energy on its own. One
Sad
shots and
times.
abilities
Mhm.
I got nothing.
with 1 energy. Okay, so that spends all the energy.
Alright.
Pass the token next round.
This game's making a lot of sense now.
Yep.
Did it need 22 pages to explain this, Tim?
Yes.
By the first half like explains the actual rules, and the second half is like you're probably confused. Let's do some walkthroughs of how some turns work, kind of thing. All right, so I have 4 actions. I am in the miniverse.
Okay. Trying to figure out what I'm discarding here. Yeah, we're discarding the elevator.
So what do I want to do? First player token. There'll be a bazillion energy down here. I'm gonna spend 1 action to draw and discard. I have 3 actions remaining. I'm gonna spend I'll spend 1 to go be in the microverse. And then I have 2 left.
Ooh, Kevin, you're not going to get many actions this turn.
Nope.
Because you're in the Rickverse.
I'll discard the card to make 3, and I'll build down a Flubal Crank. So that's going to score me 2 victory points, and I draw 2 cards.
Yep.
You go to
Putting me at
24.
24.
All right, over to me.
Yes, you have 5 actions.
Yes. All right. It's all 5 here.
All 5 to build the Fubo Conquest. You're going to get 2 victory points for that,
Yep. And I draw 2
and draw
cards.
2 cards.
Do we shuffle the deck and start over?
I assume. I haven't checked, but I would hope. I'm never going to use this on this, guys.
And
It is very unnecessary.
I've got, and I can still discard cards for more actions, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm definitely going to.
Yeah, you got a few there.
Discard. Discard the ramp and start working.
Start building a taxi.
Start building a taxi, and discard another card.
Okay.
Ooh, we are off screen.
You're off
We'll
screen.
get there. So this is 20 power flowing into the bottom here.
Yeah. I have a plan.
So you discarded 2 cards for that?
I discard 2 cards to get to
Yeah.
play and put 1 more build
Yeah,
on
so
it.
he's going to use his ability to finish that. He's
Yes.
going to get a bazillion points this turn. Okay.
You got 2.
2 actions for being in the Riftverse.
I'm going to spend my 2 actions and discard a card to build a Flubble Crank in the miniverse.
Okay. that makes
And
sense.
so I'm going to get to draw 3 cards as soon as we have cards to draw.
I've been shuffling, so here you go.
All right. And then I'll get
Uh,
3 VP as
3
well.
cards and then discard a card.
Yes.
And 3 victory points, putting you to.
Did I get my 3 victory points for?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah, because you got.
Yes, you caught
Yeah.
it. Yep.
Yeah.
Don't you have to discard a card building thing, something down there too?
It's in the miniverse. You discard a card.
Oh.
The
Yeah.
teeny-verse is everything you build. There's every other turn.
Gotcha.
Yeah, you can power it up every other turn.
It's a little confusing because all the universes have similar names except Rick's.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's Rickverse, Microverse, Miniverse, and Teenyverse, and the Microverse is a fine place to be. So much energy.
Well, I need it because I'm
Yeah.
just paying you guys off.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so that's it for Kevin's
That's
turn.
all. That's my whole turn. I'll make 2 actions.
All right, so 20 energy. All right, so one shots and abilities first.
All right. Use 3 to finish the taxi.
Yep.
And I'm gonna use 2 to immediately activate.
He's playing a crank a day is not nearly enough. Activate a contraption you control in this verse immediately, paying all costs. You may activate it again if able, which you won't be able to.
And we're gonna get 6 victory points. So I'm using 10 total.
Okay.
So down to
20, use 3, so we're down to 7.
Yep.
And you're going to get 6.
Yep.
You get 30.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then contraptions activating.
Yep.
Alright.
It's on me.
Yep. There's 7 to spend, so you cannot do both of these.
Well, I'll get 3 more.
So you go to 1. And Morty is at 33. Miniverse. Nobody's here, so it's just going to be contraptions. We have 14, so we're at 15 to spend. Turn order, I can activate my cinema for 3. Kevin's going to get to be able to do both of these. So
Hooray.
15, so I spent 3 to go to 12, and I get 3 victory points. So I go to 27. And there's no foes here, so you're going to get 1 for this, and you're going to get 2 for this.
Yep.
So you're going to spend 4 and get 3. It's 24.
We don't need to tap those.
Dang it. Oh, and these 2 are back.
Yep.
That's important. Microverse gets 14 more.
22.
So I'm gonna spend I'm gonna spend 4 on the tribal mask to get a victory point for sure. I'm going to play. I'm going to spend 3 to play the Will of the Forest to score 3 victory points. 1, 2, 3.
Tim, I swear to God, if you screw over my flying lab.
So we had 22. I've spent 7.
Yep.
I can spend 8 more.
Mm-hmm.
15 minus 8. I can go down to 7, and I'll get 2 more victory points. Keeping up with the Mortys.
You go with Morty.
And one-shots and abilities to Kevin.
Nope.
Okay. Would you like to activate your contraption?
Yes. I score 1 fewer point. It doesn't score any points in the first place.
Okay. Back to 0. Jesse's the first player. We all draw a card.
Oh, I misread the shit out of this card.
Jesse, 5 actions to you. The
Wait.
way things are going, this may be the final round. If somebody gets
But we get another. Is the final round the one that we hit the limit, or we get one more round after
I
that?
believe you just finished the. Yeah, we can double check. That's kind of important because are we in a like use it or lose it situation or not?
Yeah. This actually matters when I discard.
Yeah.
If we're gonna trigger this round, I gotta play this correctly.
Should I look at the end of the book? Should I look at the beginning of the book? Playing the game now.
Yeah, that's what's gonna
Cards playing the game. Start of the turn. Start of each round. Action phase. Power phase. End of round.
be. I know a lot of steps here.
Okay, yeah.
Sorry, we're in the. What's the rule? What's the play?
Okay, yeah. It says if during end of round, it says if no one hit the required VP number during the round, pass the first player token 1 to the left and start a new round.
Okay.
Okay.
So yeah, this will probably be the last round.
All right. Well, let's discard that then. Okay.
5 actions and whatever you can afford to spend cards for.
Yep.
Let me make sure you can. We've been doing it anyway, but okay, yeah. There's no limit. We can discard as many cards as we want.
That's my 5 actions.
Okay, we're building Kyle's no ramp
And
the
the light ball.
You have 2 tokens to put on these guys.
Yes, I do. We're just gonna suck up the energy.
That's it for you, Jesse?
That's it for me. It's
How many points does Tim score this round? Strictly from the Miniverse and up. Rick, a lot.
Looks like he gets at least 4.
He gets 3.
4.
He's
5,
yeah, he's not in last place. 4,
5.
5. Okay, it's not too bad then.
you pass me the book, Con. I actually
Yeah.
need to read a thing out of this.
We're gonna move down here with my 2 actions, and I think I'm gonna discard a card to move another one. By FU, we're gonna go to the Teenverse.
All right.
That's your turn.
Yep.
Three actions. I don't want to do this. One, two, three. That'd be 4.
Tim keeps about to galaxy brain all of you.
I don't believe that's the case.
Stupid cat just ran into the camera. This is why those of you at home should never own a cat. They run into your cameras.
At least she hasn't climbed on the table yet.
She almost just knocked it over that time.
And Kevin's.
Kevin's planning
Kevin's
something.
so far out though. Like I'm more concerned about
Well,
him finishing.
He's only 10 points behind you. 9 points behind you.
I'm only a quarter of the game track behind.
But he
yes.
does not have a lot of eligible points to obtain. Like even on.
Yeah, I'm a complete non-threat.
Trying to figure what's the most efficient way to get. I could do this because reactions. Well, I'm definitely going to get a fourth action from putting this away. There's no way I'm playing that card. What I'm doing with my other 3 cards.
Old lady science.
Yeah, so see if we get lucky, I guess. I'm gonna pay 4 and build Rick's Flying Lab. I'll get a victory point for building it because I'm Rick. And I'll draw a card and discard a card.
That's when you build a power supply, dude.
Hmm?
With this or with
it's a
something
power
else?
supply. Oh, I'm sorry. I did not
How
get
many
to draw
victory
cards.
points should we
hustle Keith.
penalize Tim Keefe?
30.
30. Tim, you're at 3 victory points.
Yeah, okay. What can I do with the one action then? I guess that's if a foe is in the verse.
Go to the miniverse and
There's no real reason.
have
for
another
me
action
to-
next turn.
If there's a next turn.
I don't want to discard a card for that. I will just chill here. Okay.
One shots and abilities.
First things first. 20 energy.
Yep.
Now, Jesse, you get the first chance to play one shots and abilities.
I'm gonna pay 3 for blow me. I'm gonna choose Rick. I'm gonna choose this microverse. All your things produce 2 less victory points.
Okay. I had a feeling that was coming.
I'm gonna play not cool. This costs 18 energy and scores me 1 victory point.
Not cool.
Good one, Kevin.
Okay.
You're not here. That's right.
Contraptions activate.
There's no energy.
Kevin has extended the game.
I think you got another turn out of that.
I think I did, yeah.
Alright.
I hope I did.
This goes 14 power.
I guess I maybe could have like spent all but I could have spent all but 2
Yeah.
and had some more energy in this one, but that's fine.
Okay. And then
No one shots
no just no abilities.
and turn order.
Yep. So you get
I
to
spent
spend
4.
to get 2.
I think I trigger the
3 or
plus
more
1,
cards.
right? Yeah.
So you get 3. You're good to 28. I get to spend 3 to get 3. So it goes to 7. I go to 37. And so we go here. We get another 14.
Wait, doesn't everything score 2 less here?
Oh yeah, all of his stuff course 2 less.
Oh, in the next
So it goes
universe.
to
Yeah.
21. So all my stuff here will score 2 less. So
So
the question is, can I spend enough energy? I can spend. It's only contraptions, right? That generate 2 less.
Gains VP in that verse. Yeah, I think this reduces every single thing.
Okay, that's right. So I can spend 3, 6.
Yeah, applies to one shots, abilities, and contraptions.
Okay. 11, 15. I can only spend 19.
Blow me.
If only I could spend one more energy, I could trigger this.
I just read this and I already forgot.
Okay.
Oh, that's an.
He'd actually would have gotten a VP.
Yeah, I would have gotten 2.
Okay.
Tim,
I would have
profoundly hate you
I
right
would have
now.
still been at 39.
Yeah.
He literally built a thing that says, if Kevin's flying lab is screwed,
But well, in this case, in order to spend it, I'd give 2 energy to that verse anyway. So, that must be what those tokens are for. So yeah, I don't get to do anything here. Yeah. Okay, I just won't bother. Kevin gets to draw his card.
yay.
All right.
Turn order player goes to Kevin.
What happens to the leftover energy?
Just
Back to
nothing.
0.
It evaporates. And I'll draw a card.
I should have moved. I could have gotten 1 victory point off of this.
Let me see. Could I possibly? I don't think I can possibly stop you guys from winning. Can I possibly score?
Yeah. Probably just need to
12
figure out
points.
how many points you can score. Yeah.
I guess that's a start.
Too. That's nice.
Let's see. So, this is completely expendable. All right, that's actually I'd see a difference then.
So much stuff. Morty just rules the Teenyverse, and I built a ramp.
You built the ramp. That ramp is strong though.
Powerful ramp.
Next, I'm going to spend 2 actions to go to the microverse.
Nice.
And then I'm going to spend 3 actions to build a Flubel Crank. And draw 2 cards and gain 3 points.
2.
I'm.
Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah.
You have to discard 1 because it's the miniverse.
Then
No, 'cause he's
then
in
he
the
draws
microverse.
and discards one. Oh no, place a contrap. It's not a contraption.
Yeah.
Sorry. The subtle differences between energy sources
Yeah,
and
yeah.
contraptions.
Yeah. Okay, is that your whole turn? Or?
Buddy.
No.
Kevin's got
These are one shots. I can't use 2 of them this turn.
Just been holding them this whole time.
I no. I keep drawing them though for
Alright.
every freaking draw. Well, sure. Let's spend 4 1-shots and build a Blooble Yank here. I'll draw 2 cards and gain 4 VP.
Kevin Brober, you're back in it.
Wow.
Alright,
There's some craziness gonna happen here.
the energy runneth over.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm gonna get this down to 1 or less remaining.
Wow.
Oh, that's way too late for that. I'm at. Am I at 33? Am I? Wait, I'm green.
Yeah.
35.
35.
35. Yep.
Okay, so Jesse scores 12 billion points from the Teenyverse.
True.
So we're gonna spend.
Kevin with the out of nowhere plays.
One to move to the Miniverse.
I'm like assuming he has another not cool and he's trying to figure out how to use it.
I drew another not cool. We're gonna build a Global Blocks here. Score 2 more points.
3 more because you're.
I think it says 1. Or oh, it's score. Oh yeah, 3 more. Yeah, right.
Yep.
And then,
38.
we're gonna spend my last card to move the Teenyverse.
Whew. God damn it, Kevin.
Wow, this is really
Storm
starting to actually
tones.
feel like the episode
Yep.
that Tim has not seen.
Well, okay, so I have 3 actions. And I'm here. guess I'll spend this in the 3 actions to build a blue bull yank here and get 3 victory points and draw 2 cards.
Yep.
And that's over 40.
And that, yeah, game will end this turn.
So this is the final round.
Yep.
Kevin can play Kingmaker. Or win.
And can I do something cool
Kevin
with
is
these cards?
has 1 contraption.
I have 2.
Oh, you have 2. You have 2.
3.
You
Oh, I scored less points because I dumped my hand. Dang.
I don't think I can improve my hand really, so I'm just gonna sit here with my 3 cards. Never know what might happen. It's a little weird not knowing what actions are available, what like the one shots could be.
Yeah.
Alright, so is it
Jesse's turn.
Jesse's turn.
5 actions to you, sir.
5 actions to me and my 1 card in hand, huh? Alright. So is Kevin bluffing? That's what we're literally coming down
Can you
to.
do anything about the bluff?
Can I do it? I mean, or
He gets first crack, so
he gets first crack. That's the problem. I might be literally discarding, drawing all 5 to try to find hopefully find a better card than this.
that's
Alright.
valid play.
I get to. All right. 1 action.
Oh wow.
2 actions.
Okay, so 3 more.
Stay on this one.
All right.
And you're gonna stay in
You have 3 more actions left.
Teenyverse.
Teenyverse.
You can get first crack at all the riches in some of these. Or contest him for the riches in Microverse. Or actually, move after Tim, but before
No.
Tim's it.
I'm gonna
so.
go Mayverse.
All right.
Steamers. Okay. 2 more actions. Nothing you want to do with them.
No.
Okay.
We're at that
you
point.
can look at 2 more cards. It's free. You can always discard the card you drew.
No, because it's discard is cost.
Oh, really?
It's a discard draw. So that's
Okay.
why you're like, I am the hard looting.
Okay.
It's not draw discard, sadly.
All right. So power phase.
All right. 24 energy.
24.
This card costs 24.
Kevin gets a victory point.
Not cool.
Yep.
Not cool, guys.
No, nothing happening here.
I don't think it matters because this is like literally 12 billion energy, but I could have spent less.
36 energy.
36 energy, huh? Well, I'm gonna use 3 of it and draw 3 cards.
Oh,
Ooh.
so down to 33 energy.
Sadly, you can only use one shot. You can only use one shot.
I know.
This is cool stuff for later.
Oh, when you shuffle the deck's just going to be like full of one shots after all this stuff's built. That's why we're drawing all these green cards.
That's
I should have dealt a little deeper.
Oh well.
not invalid.
Okay.
All right, so
Contraptions.
contraptions. I'm going to spend my 4.
We're going to spend a total of 7 and go to 26 energy. So you do not. So you're going to get 1,
And
2, 3 points.
Yep.
1, 2, 3 points. I'm going to spend the 3 to get 3 points.
and immediately leapfrog me
3
and
points.
sad.
Microverse. We get 14 more. There is now 40 energy.
I think the car is going to start.
I get to play 1 shot and abilities. I will spend 4 for a victory point. To go to 14. I will spend 2 more for someone's going to get late in college. I'll spend 2 more. I get 4 more victory points, then each foe in this verse gets to draw a card. So I go up to 48. And I have all the things here. I'll spend 12.
Mm-hmm.
Get
And score
2,
4.
3, 4 victory points. So we're down to exactly 30. No, we're not. From 34 to 22.
Yep.
And score 1, 2, 3, 4 points. 1, 2, 3.
Other way on the next track.
1, 2, 3, 4 points. I hate snake trackers. And then up top, Kevin gets to draw a card.
Hell yeah. Oh man, I thought that was the last card in the deck.
And the game is over.
All right, Tim.
So
Keith.
Jesse, how much would you have scored if I hadn't?
If you hadn't done that,
Not
so
cool.
Tim would have gotten an activation at 8.
Oh yeah, so you go first.
But then
There was 24 available.
so you would have gotten 16 for that. I would have gotten 6. I think my best.
So you would have gotten 7 from this, and
7.
then you could spend 8 more.
Yeah, 8 more. So probably activate. I played a one. I would have played a one shot, so this would have activated. And the-
You would have gotten 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
yeah, 11.
He would have gotten 11. I would have gotten 4.
Yeah, because Tim would have gotten many fewer.
Yeah.
You know, we would have gotten the same amount of points
This
in the next
was-
universe.
This is the one I should have kept taking for.
What's it do? Peace in the world.
I activated a contraption. It's not mine.
All right. Well, enough about what we could have done.
That got really crazy at the end. The fact that Kevin found me.
That was a little, yeah, that was a big turn.
All right,
Yeah.
that was Rick and Morty. The Ricks Must Be Crazy, the multiverse game from Cryptozoic. Rochester CCG price is just $15 American. And like all items in the Rochester CCG store, you can use your lifetime discount towards the purchase of this game. So if you're buying cards or other board games, you get an additional discount. If you can buy this to get a little more to get to that free shipping threshold, why not? Now it's time to go to our favorite part of the show where we do our scores. On the show, we score based on quality and value for the price, the setup and the rules, how easy was it to set up and play, the experience, did you have fun, the social interaction in this competitive game, and lastly, replayability. This week, because Jesse came in last, he gets to go first.
What are we starting with?
We're starting with quality and value.
What's the price on this one again?
This is $15.
$15?
All right. So I'm gonna give you some. So quality wise, these things are the standard playing card. They have a high glare issue. We actually have a lot of lighting issues to get this set up so we can actually play this game and be visible while playing it.
I think that's really a feature for cameras more so because I think
Yeah.
looking at the cards is okay.
Also, I'm like this far away from most of the cards, and I had to do a lot of leaning to read these.
Yeah.
Like it's a lot of small text. Like and I had to like pick those up a lot to read.
Yeah,
read
the
them.
rules suggest reading your cards aloud a whole lot,
Yes.
which is important, I think.
I mean,
RTFC.
cost wise, everything. I mean, I'm gonna give it a 6. I mean, it's for a $15 game. You get all the tokens and stuff like that to help you track, even though they get a little crazy on what they're actually representing at times. But yeah, I'll give it a 6.
Kevin Broberg.
I'm inclined. I think I'm gonna give it an 8 is my final verdict. I think I agree with a lot of what Jesse says. I think I'm gonna give it points for like. I mean, I like Rick and Morty, and I like the art from Rick and Morty, and the cards and the names and stuff, and like I think that's part of the value for me. You know, it's fine cards. The cardboard, like there's some kind of more solid cardboard pieces. The character stands feel fine. It's solid stuff. You know, I feel like the character stands wouldn't even be out of place in a more expensive game that had quality parts. You know, shipped some of its like price point into other parts of the board, and having the simple board and then the lower price point, I think that works fine for the game.
Okay. Tim Keefe.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with like a 7. I think this is like a little bit more than I would expect to get for $15. There's just I would expect like to get cards and like maybe 1 board worth of punch outs or something
Yeah.
like that. And this has like 3 boards worth of punch outs. It's standard cardboard stuff, but for $15, it's a pretty reasonable value,
Yeah.
especially for a licensed game.
Right.
Some of that's going to royalties.
All right, so next we move on to the setup and the rules. I'm going to start with Tim on this one because he had to both set up and learn the rules.
So the rule book is written in a rough order. It talks about a lot of stuff that it hasn't introduced yet.
Yeah.
Once you've read it all and you go back and you assemble the pieces together, we were like the flow of our game was going much.
Once we got past like turn 2, we were.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Once we knew how it worked, we were fine. We didn't do a whole lot of we did some partial building, mostly Jesse because he had that ability. Maybe that's on us for being bad or something like that. There
Yeah.
just doesn't seem to be too much benefit in it. So there's like, it feels like there's finicky bits with the like all the little markers and the scoring track and keeping track of the energy, but it comes together pretty good. But yeah, so certainly an initial learning curve, but then once you've played a couple rounds, you sort of understand how everything fits together. So, I'm gonna go ahead and give it a 6. It's probably, it's definitely a rough experience out of the box. And once you start playing, like, it's fine, but there's still a lot of like little tracking your ability counts and stuff.
Jesse. Setup and the rules.
Well, out of the box setup is kind of not that bad. You're just popping out things out of the thing. Everything dang. I had a little issue opening the cards. They were very well packaged. Again, that's a plus and a minus.
None of us have nails, so.
None of us has nails. Yeah, so we're actually manicured here.
I just have anxiety, so I just chew right down to the bone.
The rules, yeah, my recommendation would always be out of the box, get the basics down, and then like have one person go through it, get a good idea, and then kind of work your way through. Once you're about 2 turns in, though, it's pretty standard. Like you're just flipping over and referencing the back of the rule book after that, just for the quick reference guide of like what you do for actions and when do you play one shot, stuff like that. So it came out pretty good. I mean, I'm gonna give it a 5. It's just one of it was a little much for a game that we're trying to. That's the only thing that really got me was like, man, I played this before. I don't remember it being that hard to get going.
I will say I appreciate a lot that the rules on one-shots are you play one shot card at one very specific point in time.
Yeah.
And it's not a total cluster of ridiculous.
In response to your one shot, I'll play my 4th one shot of the turn, and yeah, for sure.
Very, very nice that they just made that very clear cut.
Yeah, yeah, I do appreciate the procedural parts. It's just very clear progression of what's happening next. Yeah,
what's happening. We didn't have any like questions about how anything worked.
Yeah.
At any point.
I played this.
That's
what
okay.
does it do?
So I think I decided that I was between a 3 and a 4 on this one. I think I'm going to bump it to a solid 4 because that is a good point that there were some problems that can easily come up in a lot of games that did not occur at all. But yeah, it feels like there's an awful lot of barrier to entry to this game. And I feel like this is in a lot of games where it's kind of you open the box and there's each card has this many symbols on it and letters and numbers and everything. And then it kind of has to give you the like just front load. Here's the dictionary for this game, right? But I thought that was sort of unusually difficult for this game. Then also kind of the structure of how the game worked was counterintuitive, which makes sense because I mean it's a interdimensional whatever piracy game. But then also as far as the rules go, once we were in the game, one thing that I'm docking it for as well is that we had a bunch of fundamental questions like when exactly does the game end and why, and what are the mechanics of that, and do you actually shuffle the deck back in? And those were kind of just inserted at kind of arbitrary points in the middle of paragraphs in the rule book that we kind of like. I think I'm not sure, but I think technically you don't reshuffle the deck until the end of the round, so people can just get stranded on card draws with the letter of the law. I think, and that's just kind of.
Well, that's dumb.
Weird
That's
and
why we have
unpleasant
house rules for not knowing the rules.
Yeah. And so I'm docking a little on that too. So like front end kind of rough, back end there were good parts of it, but there were certainly some negatives there too.
Yeah.
So.
I interject a good thing before I interject now a bad thing. It took me like 4 or 5 times going back and forth in the rulebook to get my head around the gear thing at the top of the contraptions and stuff is both the action cost and sort of the amount of things you have to build. And every card you put build things on, even though the only things you're actually keeping is contraptions.
Yeah.
And it's neat that it's sort of a universal resource, but I would have loved to have just like little bubbles to put the little build things on, so that it's clear that that's what's going on.
All right, Kevin, we're going to come back to you now because we always like to make you go twice. Tell us about the experience. Did you have fun?
Yeah, so I had a lot of fun. I think I'm gonna give it. I guess I'll give it an 8, and it's like edging on a 9 even almost. I think the gameplay once I sort of got it, once I got past the barrier of the rules, was pretty enjoyable. I had that one really great turn at the end where I was like drawing into things that scored me VP and drew more cards and indirectly gave me actions back. That was cool. And I think there is a kind of a fun push and pull of, well, where am I putting where's this energy going, or are the downsides of building it lower on the totem pole worth it? Who's going to be stealing all my stuff? And I definitely think I gave you guys way too much leeway with all the energy I was building and not enough of my own buildings. But, strategery.
Like contraption by the end
Yes.
or something like that.
Hey, 3 if you count the one that didn't score VP.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed it. So
Jesse.
Fun experience actually. Like I said, once we got going, it played pretty smoothly, turn to turn. I got Kevin hit me twice in a row with the my whole plan with ruin your plans. I was like, wow, I got really kingmakered here. All right, that was interesting. But good game overall. I'm gonna give it a 7. I had a good time.
Okay, Tim Keefe.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with an 8 as well. I think there was not too. My early game was actually kind of weird. Like I had a sort of a screwy hand, and I didn't have a whole lot of choices early on. Like I could have built more power, but there was so much of that going up already.
yeah.
But overall, like there's a pretty good density of interesting decisions to make, both like where you are, like where do you want to build stuff, where do you want to be, like
where you would physically want to be.
yeah, and sort of, and trying to figure out like what openings in sort of the, because like trying to build stuff down here by the end of the game was just like, don't bother, right?
Stay out of my universe.
And I think there's one, and I think especially in the Teenyverse where it's like where your things turn off every other turn. That's a really interesting mechanic. And then also I don't think we got into it too much because we ended up being very stratified in what was building where. But just the turn order thing, where if you're going first, you get the first crack at all the energy. And I finally drew my ability card at the end of the game that said you could discard 2 cards to become the first player this turn.
Oh wow!
And 2 cards is an awful lot of cost, but if you're the first player every turn, it's pretty amazing.
Yeah, and on the flip side, I like that going last is a benefit in the earlier phase because
what's up.
You don't get to go first. You don't get priority, but at least like. You can plan for that, right? You can say, like, okay, I'm not going to get priority. I just need to be here, right? Or something like that. But yeah, I'll go with 8 out of 10.
Okay. And you get to go again, Tim, because you're last. Social part of the game. Interacting with your friends and peers.
Or
enemies.
As we saw, the take that was extremely powerful. That is partly specific to this particular game and the way it played out. We had someone going all in on one zone. I do not think he would have done that if he knew that card was around.
I knew the card was around, but I had to play the odds that Kevin couldn't find it, and
Twice.
Yeah.
Like literally, I got a little tight on that one, but that's the odds I play by. I zoned out a strategy. I'm like, well,
yeah.
Well, I mean, if you'd have drawn both of them, then you would have been 10 miles ahead if both those cards had ended up in your hand instead, because no one could have stopped you.
Yeah, and in my defense, I wasn't intentionally trying to like ruin your day. I was basically trying to prolong the game as much as I could, which was ultimately a fool's errand anyway. But
so there's a little bit of it doesn't feel so bad with 3 people. With like if you're playing with more, what does this go up to?
4.
I think 4, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So if you're playing with 4, the take that might feel like a little arbitrary to somebody, but I appreciate that the sort of punishment is there if you're stacking one zone too much. I think competitively, like what everyone else was doing was very relevant, pretty much at all times.
Yeah.
Like there's some
the energy
solitary
mechanic is humongous, right?
Yeah. There's still like a little bit of solitary in like building. If there's excess of energy, you kind of just get to like build your supply chain.
Yeah.
And it comes down to like what one shots are they playing, but I think it's perfect balance. It's a good mix of being able to sort of do your own thing and needing to care what other people are doing. So I'll give it probably a 7. I still like take that just feels bad sometimes.
Jesse.
I'm gonna put it at a 7 also. I like the interactions back and forth got pretty good at the end there, where we're just kind of feeling each other out what our plans were, and some people had really telegraphed plans like me, and there's people like Kevin who just had the oh wow.
I had nothing, and then a bunch of cards came up in the right sequence.
Yeah, you just like dumped the hand of energy out the board. Definitely, if I played this again, I would probably I probably would have late game slide up a little bit and just drop some of the bigger things up high just to have a cash out point if needed. So yeah, I'll give it a 7. I mean that's about right for.
I think 7 is above average.
7 is above average, and it's good. That's actually a good social game of, interacting with everybody, and it's simple. It's simple interactions. So the one shots are crazy sometimes.
It is nice that there's only one of them per person per round.
Yeah.
Per verse, rather.
Quite a lot in the deck for how many that get played.
Yeah.
There is a way to play 2 in a round. There is because you play one shots first, then you activate stuff, right?
I think you can do your abilities in one shots in whatever order.
Yeah, because there's one called Elevator that moves you up.
Oh right.
So you can get another shot. There's one called the Elevator that I saw.
And that moves you up one universe, and you can play another.
And there was a point
shot.
where I had one, and I was like, maybe I need this, maybe I don't. I'm like, I should have played it because I could use like, all right, let's move up here when I need to use another one shot and keep going.
I had that at the end, and I was trying to think if I could do anything with it, but I think I had to ship it to do all the moves I needed to do.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think, Kevin?
I'm gonna give it. I'm between an 8 and a 9 again, actually, because I think there was a ton of interaction in this game, and I think there was even part we didn't really see so much of, like as Jesse was saying, of kind of the positioning element with the one shot abilities. Mm-hmm. I mean, definitely they did. I was seeing a ton of them, and it's a ton of stuff like take 2 VP from someone in the same room as you, or take 3 VP, and just scoring a bunch of VP. Adds a whole extra layer, especially if you're getting into like a VP race where it's like, let me get to 40, potentially with these one shots and stuff. That could be a really interesting and really complex territory to navigate. And on top of, I think just fundamentally the interplay of how's the turn sequence going to play out? How's the energy consumption going to go? Whose energy am I stealing here? I think that's a really really deep well to go into for the mechanics that are actually fairly simple. Mm-hmm. And so I think that's a really good kind of like the unfolding complexity thing you really like to see in games then.
Alrighty. Lastly, on to replayability. Kevin Broberg, would you play this game again? How excited would you be to play it again?
I think I'd be fairly excited to play it again because I think that I was extremely far behind. Like, I was down by like 10 plus points and then did a bunch of crazy nonsense and like went from very bad early mid game to technically scoring enough points but also being behind by 10 to the winner anyway. And I'd be interested to see if I could like pull off a less incoherent strategy of giving everyone else a ton of energy, then doing nothing, and then giving everyone a ton of energy again. I don't know if I would necessarily play this like 3 or 4 more times. So I guess I'm going to give it a 7 on the balance. And I could imagine that it might be really good, but I got a slanted perspective, I guess, from this game.
Alrighty. Jesse.
I'm going to give it a 6 on replayability. If I get 2 games out of this for $15, that's pretty good for 4 people. That's right there, gives it over a 5. I don't know if I could get this off the shelf. It's one of those ones that, like, once you play it once, maybe twice with a group, it's going to be tough to come back to, though. So you're really getting maybe 2... You have to really have a large group of different gamers that have either A, are fans of Rick and Morty, or B, like, resource management games, I guess. So it can go a different way. But yeah, if you get at least 3 or 4 plays out of it, you're there. You've hit the numbers. So yeah. So.
Tim, you get the last word tonight.
I think I'm also gonna go with the 6. Part of this is if I want to play with this with different people, I have to teach it to them.
I don't know if this would be that bad to teach. And actually, I was thinking earlier.
If, like, most of the table knows, it shouldn't be bad at all.
Yeah.
If like one person knows, and they're trying to teach the 3 people who don't.
I feel like this game might be a game where, like, if you want to pick it up, watch a video of people playing it, and then try to learn it from that.
Yeah.
And then you could maybe get, because
there's
there's a lot of intuition.
Other than just reading.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I'm sort of with Kevin. Like I could imagine playing this game like a few times, but the characters don't vary things that much. There's not too many different ways to play the game or different strategies. There's different ways the game could play out. I think energy shortage was just not a problem in this game. And maybe with repeated plays, people are more stingy or whatever, and there starts to be some actual pressure there. But I think one of the things is once there's like just enough energy, then nobody has to just play your energy, get your cards, get your VP.
Yeah.
And it just sort of snowballed. I don't know if that would happen every game.
Demanding attention.
You know, if that doesn't happen every game, then maybe you get some more plays out of this. If it does kind of go that way usually, then, you know, after a few games, you're going to kind of sort of have seen the game.
All right, let's look at our final scores. Alrighty, so Jesse rated this game as a 32. Yeah. Tim gave it a 33. Kevin, super generous, 36. With average score rounding up to 34. So I'm going to show everybody the game again, once again, at RochesterCCG.com, whilst I add it to our 2020 list. So we kind of see where we are at. Bear with me.
Yeah, it's kind of just this weird thing where, like, you spend a bunch of effort learning the rules to realize that, like, oh, it's not that bad. And then the next step is you realize that, like, okay, but part of it not being that bad is, like, there's only so much complexity here, and it's interesting to sort of explore. But I definitely feel like after a few times, if, like, everyone knows what they're doing.
I mean, I definitely think that there's a lot less energy in games where someone isn't playing Zeep and just like, yeah, let me build energy for everyone for no reason.
Yeah, but there's in a 4-player game, there's no way somebody's Zeep, right?
Well, yeah, but so like, I mean, he scores extra VP for building energy, right?
Yeah.
So I think what he wants to do is play like a normal person, but hoard some energy, hoard some of those cards for the end, where he can then do a big turn and try to spike a lot of VP.
Yeah,
Alrighty, so we got our scores for 2020. Still at the top of the heap is Get the MacGuffin with 43. Container at 39. Cowboy Bebop, Board Game Boogie at 37. And Steal the Show and the Ricks Must Be Crazy tied at 34.
Cool.
And for a cost of value for that, that's about right. Like, it's.
Yeah.
I won't lie. The first time I played this game, I did not have a good time, and it seemed like maybe because of the group of people I played it with, and that's why I didn't have a good time. And this time, a lot better. So I thought I was gonna be like, man, this game's a 28. This is gonna be a 20 pointer today.
Alrighty, so that brings us to the end of our show for this week. Next week, we're going to be back for our regular Top Deck Heroes-ness, where we talk about universes. We're going to be talking about the retro ban list updates. We're going to be talking...
the upcoming event that Saturday.
Yes.
Yep. And maybe we get to talk about the DCGU thing. I assume we want to wait till our videos are out before we talk about that.
Yeah, so for those of you unaware, this week there was a TCGU versus Rochester CCG deck building challenge where your heroes built decks to play against the TCGU decks. After watching the videos, this was as corrupt as the 2020 election's going to be because they played our decks so badly.
Yikes, dude.
Wow.
I mean, that Kodal should have beat Goro. Like
Kung Jin forgot to use his once per game ability.
That was like
Straight up game, like he calculated it out, and then he's like, I'm too excited, I'm going in. Let's be fair, Jesse.
Yep.
Have you been there?
Yes.
I've been there like 3 times in one tournament.
Where you just get too excited and forget your character's only ability?
Definitely. The year I top 4 nationals with Kunjin, round 1 against Liz, I forgot to do my once per turn and just like I did all the math to kill Jackie, and I'm like, oh, I didn't once per turn.
Where's my momentum?
But yeah, I mean, but that's a thing we can talk about, right? Because that ties into like
our play styles.
I love the way you set it up. That the theme of the night is the power of information.
Yeah,
and that's perfect.
Power.
Yeah.
Like if I don't know who was playing what deck, but if the person playing Kotal Khan had put Royal Bodyguard in that deck himself, he probably activates it, right?
Yeah.
Like, so we can talk. We'll have a lot more to talk about.
Yeah, we'll talk about that next week. We'll talk about retro, and then the following week we'll be back with a new board game, which we'll announce at some point in the future. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Once again, tonight we looked at Rick and Morty, The Ricks Must Be Crazy, available now at rochesterccg.com for just $15. Thank you for watching, everybody. We'll see you next week.
See you next week.
Night.
Take care.